Ain't shady, baby, I'm hot, like the prodigal son.
Hello there, welcome to the video. What we're going to be doing in this one is making a ukulele wall mount. And we're going to be using wood filament for the 3D printer, and we're going to be sanding it down and then staining it to make it look really nice. I'll be making it for my friend Smokey, because he's really good at ukulele and he's wanted this for a while now. But anyways, for the making of this, I'm going to have links down in the description to skip ahead to any parts that you're actually interested in case you're not interested in watching the 3D modeling of the part. You can just skip to the printing or sanding it down or applying the stain or the finished product if that's all you want to see. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get started. I wanted to show you the actual 3D model that I created for this to get you a better idea of how it was made. So it starts off pretty simple with just a box over here, but these are actually all the features that are used that I used to create the model. So it started off with just this basic drawing right here of just a rectangle, and he extruded out. So this feature is controlling everything in blue. Everything else is the gray is what I've done later, cutting stuff out and everything. For example, the screw hole right here, this is for the screw head, and then this right here will be for the threaded part of the screw. I don't have it threaded, and I actually have it a bit smaller than what it should be, so that the threads of the screw will actually go into the part and hold it more secure. But yeah, and then if you're thinking ahead, just with how it makes it simpler for you if you think ahead with this kind of stuff, I made it on the front plane. And so if I make it over here and I want it to be in the same position over here, I made these two holes, and so I can just mirror it across, and it's the same thing with the same orientation because it's symmetric across this right plane. So that can make your life a little bit easier if you are wanting to do the same thing on both sides. You don't actually have to do it twice, you can just mirror it. I think I did it again for right here, cutting a little divot into the end right here, so whenever you put in the ukulele, you can put like a elastic band so it doesn't fall forward or fall out of the hold. So yeah, a nice thing with 3D printing as well is thinking ahead before you get to the actual printing stage, which is with this fillet feature right here. This is going to help with the printing process. Let me just show you what it's like without it. It actually comes up, and if you're thinking about how a 3D printer works, the one that we're using is an additive 3D printer. So what that means is that it goes up by layers. So it'll start with down here, and it'll keep adding and adding and adding. Once it gets to right here, it's still fine. There's nothing out here that is being printed without any support underneath. So you come up, and once it starts branching out, it's going to want to start building out here, but there's nothing underneath it for the filament to catch it. So it might catch itself with this print. It might catch a little bit right here and droop down some, but you're not going to have the layer integrity that you're going to want. So with this fillet feature, now if you start looking at it, it starts building up and up and up. And general rule of thumb is if you have a 45-degree angle, then it's likely that you don't need any support material to go underneath it. And I like to build prints without any support material because it works better in my experience, especially with the free slicer software that I have. So with this fillet, it'll come up and it should have enough material right here to where it doesn't fall down and the layers are nice and smooth. So once we got all of this built, to get it over to the printer, we need to put it through a slicer program, and then from there we can send it over to the printer and it'll start being made.
0111011, crying zeros and I'm hearing 111. Cut my summer soles, I'm a backflip. Poor summer, summer, poor summer, kiss me. Soda, please, your DMT's empty. Chips and vegetables, a song to the bottom. Poor summer, summer, poor summer, kiss me. Cali looks dark, dark down. Where we belong. Cali was sinking like a bleeding stone. All above crowd around, so fucking loud. Mr. Caspianski that told me so. La 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 la, running down on the radio.
Alright. So, that first print came out, got it off the build plate. It didn't exactly come out the way I wanted, but it came out better than I expected in some other areas. With this new slicer program that I'm using, the words and the details of these small parts on, like the pineapple and the different font, I've never had it actually come out this smooth before and actually have this smooth of a surface, so I'm very happy about that. Something that I think I need to tweak a little bit with the settings of this new program is the raft. And I'm actually going to test it in this video. This had a raft on it which has an underneath part that goes around, and it's supposed to prevent warping, but as you can see, it didn't work too well. And what I'm thinking is going on, as you can see on the bottom, that's supposed to be smooth also, and it's very rough. And it didn't make full contact with the raft. So we'll be testing that out with the other part with no raft, and I'll tweak with those settings later on once I can look at the old slicer program and the new one, but I want to test it without a raft going forward and see if we can eliminate this warping.
Blood.
All right. So after that one, we've come out with the new part. This is without using the raft, and as you can probably tell already, it is a ton better. It's got a tiny bit of warping on the sides, and on this one as well, and it's very smooth on the bottom for the most part, with the exception of up here. There's a very big gap on the bottom. So this would not go up flat against the wall. This one, however, with a little bit of sanding, we should get it down to that. So, I don't think I mentioned it in the other one, but these little strands right here, those are easily sanded off. It's just whenever it's printing up, you might have noticed it in the time lapse, maybe not, but it'll build on this side, and then it'll have to come over here and build this one up simultaneously, and so it keeps going back and forth between it, and so you'll have little strings coming from the nozzle of the extruder, and so that's why you get these little fun things, but they easily come off just like that. So now I got a vacuum. staining this, and what we're going to use is some stain and this old sock. And I'm going to bring you to my awesome staining station. Let's get started.
Grew on me as quickly as it takes your hand to warm the cold side of the pillow.
After 3D modeling, printing, then post-processing, like sanding down and everything, and then staining, and then putting a final finisher coat on it to give it a little bit of gloss, we have our final product. So it actually turned out really well, a lot better than I was expecting. It's very very smooth and nice looking. So I did a pretty good job, I think, on sanding that front part. So I'll be getting this to Smokey. I might do another video of him trying it out, see if he likes it for his ukulele, but this has been it. This is the final product, so hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, go ahead and try it for yourself if you can get the tools to do so. Anyways, have a good day.